Hello guys, it's me Mr. Incredible and today we are looking at the top 10 hidden treasures of the world you can still find. Number 10. The Lost Treasure of Alamo. Alamo witnessed one of the most epic American battles in history. However, what is more epic is the fact that legend of the gigantic San Saba treasure, which is supposedly buried somewhere on the grounds of the Alamo. The treasure is said to contain millions in dollars of gold, silver, and religious artifacts that were initially supposed to be used to build an army and pay for the upcoming war. Unfortunately, not a single trace of the massive fortune has been ever found. Number 9. Nazis' gold in Lake Tahoe. In the last few months of World War II, Nazis sunk containers and various other objects into Lake Tahoe for still not entirely known reasons. A few of these containers have been recovered with millions of dollars worth of fake currency of isle nations inside. Apparently, the Nazis wanted to destroy isle economics with inflation in a plan called Operation Bernhard. Along with the containers, missiles, a printing press, and even a box full of beer bottles have been found in the various expeditions over the last century, which have claimed multiple drivers' lives. Yeah, number 8. Yamashita's Gold. Yamashita's Gold, also referred to as the Yamashita Treasure, is the name given to the alleged war loot stolen in Southeast Asia by Imperial Japanese forces during World War II and hidden in caves, tunnels, underground complexes, or just underground in the Philippines. It is named after the Japanese general Tomoyuki Yamashita, nicknamed the Tiger of Malaya. Though accounts that the treasure remains hidden in the Philippines have lured treasure hunters from around the world for over 50 years, its existence is dismissed by most experts. Number 7. Blackbeard's Treasure. History's most famous pirate, Edward Teach, is thought to have served as a British privateer during the War of Spanish Succession in the early 18th century, before embarking on his brief but notorious career in piracy. From 1716 to 1718, Blackbeard and his 40-gun flagship, Queen Anne's Revenge, prowled the West Indies and the Atlantic coast of North America, preying on the ships heading back to Spain, laden with gold, silver, and other treasures from Mexico and South America. In late 1718, a British naval force led by Lieutenant Robert Maynard succeeded in killing Blackbeard. After a hard-fought battle, Maynard hung his head from the bowsprit of his ship. Before his death, Blackbeard came to have hidden his massive treasure, but he never told anyone its location. Treasure hunters have been searching for it ever since. Number 6. The Treasure of Loch Argyle. The treasure of Loch Argyle, sometimes known as the Jacobite gold, was a large amount of specie provided by Spain to finance the Jacobite rising in Scotland in 1745 and rumored still to be hidden at Loch Argyle in Luchabe. Number 5. The Oak Island Money Pit. The mystery that surrounds this pit located off the shores of Nova Scotia can either make you super rich or it will take you on a wild goose chase where you dig a monstrous piece of land only to find nothing. Its legend dates back to the time when piracy was at an all time high. Back in 1975, a teenager named Daniel McGuinness claimed he saw a mysterious light coming from the island and, upon investigating, found a small circular hole. Even though he and his friends found nothing in the alleged man made hole, its legend grew multifold. So much so that everyone from President Roosevelt to big corporations have tried their hand at finding the treasure, which could either be a pirate's treasure or the Holy Grail itself. Number 4. Sir Francis Drake's Lost Fortune. Following the defeat at San Juan de Ula, Drake made two minor voyages to the West Indies in 1570 and 1571, of which little is known. It was in 1572 that he embarked on his first major independent enterprise. He planned an attack on the Panama Isthmus, the point at which the silver and gold treasure of Peru had to be landed and sent overland to Caribbean Sea, where a ship from Spain would pick it up at the Nobre de Dios. He left Plymouth on May 24, 1572 in two small vessels, the Potsol, 70 tons, and Swan, 25 tons, and with a crew of 73 men. With this force, Drake proposed to capture the important town of Nombre de Dios. In 1573, He joined up with a French buccaneer, Guillaume Le Testu, in an attack on a richly laden mule train and succeeded in making off with the huge sum of 20,000 euro in gold and silver. But he could not take all his loot, so he buried it somewhere. Number 3. The Golden Owl. In the year 1933, a person named Max Valentine decided that he would convert everyone in France into a professional treasure hunter. That's the only possible explanation for hiding a golden owl somewhere in the French countryside. That's not all. He also went on to say that anyone who finds it would get 1 million francs. Thus, he went on to give 11 clues of the owl's whereabouts, but it still hasn't been found. However, in an interview in 1999, he did mention that one person came very close to finding it, so all hope is not lost. Number 2. The Treasure of Jean Lafitte. Jean Lafitte and his brother Pierre were French pirates who made their living attacking merchant ships in the Gulf of Mexico. After Lafitte died sometime between 1823 and 1830, the legend of his treasures began circulating around Louisiana. Claims have been made that there are large caches of treasure buried somewhere in Lake Borgne, right off the coast of New Orleans, and another about 5 kilometers east of the Old Spanish Trail near the Sabine River in a gum tree grove. Number 1. The Forest Finn Hidden Treasure. After becoming a pilot in the Air Force in 1960s, Finn regularly flew his plane to Pompeii to look for artifacts, of which he found plenty. Diagnosed with kidney cancer in the 1980s, Finn decided to hide his most beloved artifacts and give everyone clues to find his treasure, which he estimates to hold 1 to 3 million dollars worth of gold, jewelry, and other valuable artifacts.